If you're a history enthusiast or survivalist, you already know that understanding how soldiers survived under extreme conditions teaches us more than just tactics. It teaches resilience, ingenuity, and the raw practicality of life in wartime. Today, we're diving into 7 genius World War II soldier cooking hacks that kept them alive without fire. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the kind of hands-on historical insights that you won't find in textbooks. During World War II, soldiers often found themselves cut off from traditional cooking methods. Supply lines failed, enemy positions blocked access to kitchens, and fuel was always scarce. Yet, despite these challenges, soldiers developed ingenious ways to prepare food without fire. Methods that might seem primitive today, but were life-saving at the time. Some of these techniques are so clever that modern preppers and survivalists can adapt them even now. They used chemical reactions to cook food without heat. One of the most overlooked survival skills of World War II soldiers was using chemical reactions as a substitute for cooking. Soldiers often carried self-heating rations, which contained a small metal pouch that, when activated, would produce heat through a simple chemical reaction. A common mix involved calcium oxide and water. Practically speaking, if you ever find yourself in a survival situation nowadays, self-heating packs or even do-it-yourself versions using chemical reactions could actually let you safely warm canned or pre-cooked foods without needing a fire, which is just ideal for stealth or, safety out in the wild. They soaked hard biscuits to make them edible. Hardtack was a staple in military rations, rock-hard biscuits that could honestly crack your teeth if eaten dry. Soldiers quickly learned to soak these in any available liquid, water, tea, or even canned soup to make them edible. Soaking allowed the biscuits to soften without fire, turning them into a digestible, energy-packed meal. Modern survivalists can use this method with dense crackers or hard breads when cooking isn't possible. Simply immerse them in water or broth for 10 to 15 minutes, and you have a soft, calorie-rich food source. They fermented or pickled food for preservation and taste. Fermentation was not just a culinary experiment, it was a survival strategy. Soldiers who had access to vegetables or fruits would ferment them using salt or vinegar, which preserved nutrients and created edible food that could last weeks. You can replicate this today by soaking cabbage or cucumbers in brine without heat. It's a method that not only extends shelf life, but also adds vital vitamins and probiotics, essential for health during extended survival scenarios. They utilize sun and ambient heat to warm meals. In sunny climates, soldiers didn't need fire to prepare warm meals. By wrapping food in dark cloth or metal containers and leaving it in direct sunlight, they could slowly heat it over hours. This technique worked surprisingly well with canned goods or pre-cooked items. To apply this today, pack your canned or foil-wrapped meals in a dark-coloured container and leave it in the sun. The passive heat can make cold rations pleasantly warm, which is especially useful in desert or tropical survival situations. They improvised boiling using containers and natural heat sources. Even without fire, boiling was possible. Soldiers learned to use hot stones from sunny rocks, placing them into containers with water and food. The stones transferred enough heat to cook, or at least warm meals sufficiently. This technique can still be practiced in survival scenarios by heating stones over indirect sun-heated sand or using residual heat from safely contained embers, then carefully dropping them into water-filled metal or thick containers. Safety is key here, but, the principle is timeless. Heat transfer can replace traditional stoves. They used insulation to continue cooking after minimal heat. Soldiers were honestly masters of insulation cooking. After giving a brief heat boost to a ration, they would wrap it in cloth, grass, or even clothing to retain the heat for hours, allowing the food to finish cooking on its own. Today, a survivalist can replicate this by using sleeping bags, blankets, or even backpacks to hold hot containers, letting residual heat tenderize or warm food over time without needing continuous fire. It's a method that conserves fuel and, allows for safer, stealthy preparation. They combined foraging with pre-cooked rations to create balanced meals. Finally, soldiers often combined minimal rations with foraged food. Wild greens, berries, and edible roots were added to canned or preserved foods, improving nutrition and flavor without fire. Understanding local flora was critical. Knowing which plants were safe to eat could mean the difference between starvation and sustenance. For modern preppers, learning edible plant identification and combining it with stored rations ensures a diverse and sustainable food supply, even when fire is unavailable. These 7 methods illustrate the creativity and adaptability that soldiers mastered under extreme conditions. They remind us that survival isn't about gadgets or fuel. It's about ingenuity, resourcefulness, and understanding the environment. Adapting these techniques today can help preppers, outdoor enthusiasts, and history lovers alike prepare for situations where conventional cooking is impossible. If you found these strategies as fascinating as I do, hit that subscribe button. Share this with fellow history enthusiasts and dive deeper into the resourceful world of World War II survival techniques with us here at Iron Age Instincts. Every like, share and subscription helps us bring more detailed, practical and historically rich content directly to you.